YouTube, Niner Empire, or what is going down? Welcome back to another video. In this video, 49ers have lost their defensive pass game coordinator, Joe Woods. See, now, before Joe Woods came to San Francisco, he worked with the Minnesota Vikings for a very long time. And he was actually Denver's defensive coordinator before we picked him up. And he wasn't he worked well with the 49ers just this past season. From what I've heard and from what I've read, the players loved him. But actually, he's leaving the 49ers and going to Cleveland to be their defensive coordinator, to work with new head coach Kevin Stefanski, who was the Vikings offensive coordinator. It's a lot to cover. But anyway, so we lost Joe Woods. That's one of our most notable coaching loses so far. A lot of people thought we were going to lose Robert Saleh towards the beginning of the season because, he was a top head coach candidate, along with Eric Bieniemy, who is the Chiefs offensive coordinator. And both really got snubbed of head coaching jobs, because I can tell you one thing. I'd rather have Robert Saleh over Adam Gase. I'd rather have Robert Saleh over a lot of these coaches in the NFL. I don't know, man. Robert Saleh is going to be a very, very good head coach one day, and I don't want him to leave yet, and he's not going to. But I love Robert Saleh, one of my favorite coaches. Probably my favorite. I almost like Robert Saleh just as much as I like Kyle Shanahan. One thing I like about Robert Saleh is the way that he always gets fired up with others, especially like when we get a sack or something like that. You always see him on the sideline pumping up the players, getting hyped. That's one thing you need to have in a coach, and I think that's one of the traits that I think that's one of the traits that Rob Saleh does so well is get the players involved and get them hyped up and kind of act as if he's one of the players. So something in my hair. But as for Joe Woods, like I said, we hired him from Denver, I believe it was last year. Yeah, from last year, signed him as our passing game coordinator. And now he's leaving to go to the Browns to be their new defensive coordinator. So, congrats to Joe Woods on the new job. I mean, any defensive passing game coordinator that gets offered a defensive coordinator job is more than likely going to take it up. I mean, that's kind of like improving on what position you're at. You know that if somebody wants you as a D coordinator and you are a defensive passing game coordinator, that 9 times out of 10, that person, whoever's getting that defensive coordinator job or getting offered that, is going to leave. So I figured, that we were already expected to lose Joe Woods after the Super Bowl. There were reports that came out, but I didn't want to cover anything on it because, we were just a day from the Super Bowl, and I didn't really want to upload anything except for anything to do with the Super Bowl. So I just decided to wait until it came official, and it did come official yesterday. So Joe Woods leaving the 49ers and heading to Cleveland as their defensive coordinator. Well, we'll fill that position. It's good. It's not like a defense. It's good we don't have to refill or fill Saleh's shoes, because he'd be hard to fill, especially as D coordinator. But before we end this video, some notable names that the 49ers could hire as their new defensive pass game coordinator. Chris Richard has been among names that we could hire. Chris Richard, for those of you who do not know, works under the Dallas Cowboys currently. Actually, his contract is up. His contract was up after the season, but Chris Richard was working with the Dallas Cowboys as their defensive pass game coordinator, and he's the favorite to be hired in San Francisco as our new defensive pass game coordinator. So that I can say is 100% accurate, and that is true because I did read a report from 49ers Web Zone on that. So expect the 49ers to hire Chris Richard as our new defensive pass game coordinator. Like I said, he's working with the Dallas Cowboys currently. You lose guys, especially when you're a championship team like that. You lose guys, and you get new hires. It's kind of anything like that's going to happen, especially when your team goes to the Super Bowl, because of how, how well the coaching staff's put together and stuff like that. So we're going to lose coaches, but we're also going to get new faces in the building as well. So I don't care who we hire. We need to get back to the Super Bowl. We need to get back to the playoffs. I can guarantee you this 49ers team will be back in the playoffs next year, but we just got to get to the Super Bowl again. And that's what a lot of people are kind of talking about when they talk about the 49ers. It's if we can get to the Super Bowl, and I believe we can. I believe we just got to be hungry, and a lot of players are hungry and ready to try to get back to the Super Bowl. So losing Joe Woods, though, I mean, it's a bummer, because I actually like Joe Woods, especially he did press conferences and stuff, and he really seemed one of the best at what he does. But obviously Chris Richard, he's a really good coach for the defense passing game coordinator, and like I said, we are expected to hire him with this news of Joe Woods leaving. So with that being said, I just want to come on here and kind of break the news to you guys. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I'm still trying to grieve over the Super Bowl loss. It's hard. The second day is just as hard as it was the first day. But it is what it is, man. We need to bring home 6. We should have brought home 6. We had it in the bag. We just lost it. But either way, we're gonna be back. It's just only a matter of time. So give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.